So that's lesson one. Lesson one that we get from the auction is that we must fill the room. Fill the room. Now, some of my agents would say, "Oh, David, I know, of course we got to get filled. We all want to fill the room." Of course we do. No, we don't, by the way. No, we don't. Not everybody always wants to fill the room. I've seen many agents take lots of actions that do everything but fill the room. Because if you're focused on finding one buyer in a million, you will never fill the room. You must change your brain waves. Your brain must say, I want to fill the room with as many people as possible. Now, by the way, let's go back to the auction room. In the auction room, if there are 300 people at the auction, how many are going to bid on an object? Maybe 5%, right? 95% are never going to even bid. But they're in the room, and you feel better knowing that they're there. Similarly, with our real estate, we have to adopt the mindset, not everybody is the buyer, and no, I just don't want all the buyers. I want to fill the room. I want as many people there as possible. And that includes the beginning point, which is agents. We want as many agents focused on our listing as possible. We know only 5% of them are going to probably have a buyer. But we want to fill the room. If you want to get from A to B, you'll never get there if you're still thinking of finding one. So our goal has to be different. It has to be to find more. So how do you do that? People say, "Oh, David, that's great. I want to fill the room too." How do you do it? Here it is. When the auctioneer starts trying to auction this, and it's going to go for $1 million, whoops. Does he start the bidding at $1 million? No. He doesn't do what real estate agents do. We start the bidding at $1 million. And then we work down. He goes the opposite way. He'll say, "Do I have $250,000 for this?" And what happens? 20 hands go up. Yes. 20 hands go up. Is he going to sell it for $250,000? No. He knows that. He's not afraid of it. It's fine. And then he said, "Do I have 300? And some of those hands go down. And then do I have 350 and 345 and 380 and 400? He's not afraid to encourage low bids. And this is one of the central lessons that we can get from the auction that we need to apply to real estate. Encourage all bids, including low bids. I'm going to come back to it. Oh, no, we're not. Because it raises the comfort level. You see, in that auction room, when you saw the 20 hands go up, you said, "Oh, great. There's 20 other people who want what I want." And that's good. It raises the comfort. Now, what the auctioneer is doing there, and I'll go through this in detail, he is establishing that somebody wants this object at some price. In the book, I think it's chapter 9, I tell the story of a property called Le Domaine Resistance. It wasn't called that. It's a fictitious name for a real property. I had to change all the characters and names because the seller is alive. Probably would have sued me. Because the seller was somebody who had a property on the market for 8 years without an offer. 8 years. Now, it was a magnificent property. I wish I still had a picture. I don't have one of it. I happen to know the property. It still exists. And I was brought in to sell this property. It hadn't had an offer in 8 years. Helped me establish my whole career, by the way. It was my first luxury sale. And people said, if you can sell that, you can sell anything. We sold it at full price with 14 offers. But the very first thing we had to do was we had to establish that somebody wanted it. Because the first thing anybody said when they came to us is, first of all, an agent felt that they had to disclose. Do you know this has been on for 8 years? What are you going to say if you're a buyer? Right? Oh, well, okay. Thank you very much. Next. So we had to say, and that was the truth. We can't going to lie about this. They're going to find out at one time or another. So the first thing we had to do is we had to get offers on the property. We had to establish that somebody wanted it at some price. And therefore, I got them. Within the first 3 weeks, I had one offer, and it was for 50% of the price. That was terrific. I said, "Great, thank you very much." And what did I do? I said, back then we didn't have email, we didn't have the internet. That's how old I am. We had faxes. I sent out 500 faxes to every firm. After 8 years, Le Domaine de Resistance has an offer in the third week of our marketing. And my phone rang off the hook with agents calling, really? How much is it? Well, I can't tell you that, but we got an offer. Really? Yeah, why? You got somebody interested? Well, maybe. Because now, by the way, what happened subsequently is we got another offer. Guess what? The second offer was lower than the first. Was I upset? No, I was thrilled. Because I went to the first and I said, we have another offer. Really? Yeah. Okay, fine. What did I do with the second? I went to the second and said, we already have an offer. And they said, okay. And they said, how much is it? I said, I can't tell you that, but I can tell you this. It's larger than yours. So what did the second offer do? Gave us a third offer. $50,000 more than the first offer. Suddenly, in the first 3 weeks of the listing, I had 3 offers. In 8 years, nobody had an offer, but we had 3. What was I doing? Was I going to sell it for anywhere near that? No. We were trying to establish that somebody wanted something that nobody else wanted. Do any of you have a stale listing in your market? Go read that chapter of the book, because this is what you do to get it sold. You want to establish that somebody wants it. The second thing that the auctioneer is doing is he is raising desire, because we all want something more when somebody else wants it. And that's critical. We all want something more when somebody wants it. Now, I didn't make us. God made us. And if you have a problem with this, you've got to go take it up with Him. This is just human nature. And you need to understand it. We do. So therefore, you must raise desire by making sure people know that you have another offer. Third, he has established a base price upon which he can go up. And that's what you need to do. You don't need to disclose the price. It is the most powerful thing you can say to somebody is, oh, I'm sorry, we already have an offer higher than that. Or you would say to them, I've got an offer, and they're going to give you something great. You want to establish a base price, so don't be afraid of a low bid. Just do it. He's validating the wisdom of bidding. Now, this is critical. Because all of us think of luxury sellers, luxury buyers, as being, the smartest people, as I say, the richest people, and they are. But you know what? They are as consumed by self-doubt as you and I are. And that's why they use their money and the power of their money to go out and hire advisors to advise them. And they have trust officers and lawyers and accountants and teams, and they hire me, thank God, to advise them. And it's not because they think they're smart, because they're full of all the same insecurities you and I have, except they have one bigger one than you and I have, and that is that they're fearful of losing their money. See, the rest of us who don't have any don't have that fear. They do. So we need to validate the wisdom of their bidding. That's absolutely critical to do. And that's what other offers do. Validates that somebody else wants this property. And then what the auctioneer is doing is orchestrating the sale. That is my term, orchestrating the sale. And I love that term because we are conductors of an orchestra. And we are trying to make a harmonious orchestra. We're trying to take a lot of disparate elements and put them together. And there's no real formula for that. Yes, we've got some scripts, which I'm giving you in the book. There are some ways of doing it, but at the end of the day, there's the discretion that the orchestrator has to have. So you do have to have a little bit of street smarts about this. I can tell you what to do, but you've got to be able to orchestrate sale. All right. And all of that, ladies and gentlemen, is power marketing. That is what it is. That's the stuff we do. Okay, let's go. The third thing we want to... Oh, by the way, the other thing that the auctioneer does, thank you, David, for reminding yourself of this, is he thanks people. This is the things I remember. Now, why is this such a big thing? If you were bidding, Dick, I would say, and you offered 50% of the price or 20%, I'd say, thank you very much. And look at it, go to an auction and see what the auctioneer does. They'll look you right in the eye. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you, ladies, for that bid. Appreciate it very much. Thank you very much for that bid. Thank you. He will make sure he thanks everybody. Now, let's contrast that with what real estate agents do. Right? You bring them a 50% offer and they look at you like you are a dirtbag. They say you're a bottom feeder, right? Just think of what we do. That's the norm in the real estate business. And not only that, the people with the offer make the buyers feel that way. They'll say to the buyer, you wouldn't want to make a lowball offer, would you? We make them feel bad. We don't thank them. We don't say, gee, I don't know, maybe they'll take it. Let's put it in. Let's throw that offer in. What harm is it going to do? Right? All they can do is say no. But we actually make them feel bad. And then we call our friends across town and we take it as an indictment of ourselves as real estate brokers. And we apologize and we say, oh, I'm really sorry to have to make this call, but I've got this offer. It's really low. Oh. I thank them. Thank you very much. Give me your offers. All of them. Give me your tired, your poor, your yearning to pay more. Okay? That's what we want. Yes is the operative answer to a low bid.